part by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you. Visit thenewlogistics.com. By Subway. Try the newest Subway $5 footlong sub. The Lopez Subway Club. Subway, eat fresh. And by Corona, who invites you to find your beach.
It has been overcast all day in Arlington, Texas, and not until the last half hour to 45 minutes before game time did we start to see some rain here. On and off. It's 81 degrees. And the chance of rain continues through the night. Supposed to be a little tougher tomorrow. Let's get more on the weather picture from Craig Sager. Segs?
Well, thanks, AJ. It is overcast. We do have intermittent showers probably within the next hour. Then it may clear up. It's funny, the national anthem was concluded moments ago and it was sang by B.J. Thomas, whose #1 hit in 1970 was Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. He's an Arlington native, a big Rangers fan. He's been singing the national anthem here since 1975. He said he's never had to sing it with raindrops falling on his head. Crew Chief Jerry Davis and groundskeeper Dennis Klein have been watching the radar the last couple of hours, keeping a very close eye on it. The manager's also been informed. In fact, Yankee manager Joe Girardi was down there with them watching the radar. Their emphasis was, listen, we don't have starting pitchers warming up, then shutting down, then warming up again. Girardi said to crew chief Jerry Davis, make a decision and stick to it. Jerry Davis said, Coach, I will, and we are going to start on time. EJ?
All right, thank you very much, Craig. Traffic and weather together on the fives from Craig Sager. This American League Championship Series coverage on TBS brought to you in HD by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Here's the Yankees lineup as Joe Girardi trots them out for Game 6. Derek Jeter in the leadoff spot. Curtis Granderson in the 2-hole against the right-handed starter. Robinson Cano for the second time in this series in the 3 spot. In fact, the second time this season. Alex Rodriguez hits cleanup. And then it's first baseman Lance Berkman. Nick Swisher plays right field. Jorge Posada behind the plate hitting 7th. The designated hitter, Marcus Timms. And Brett Gardner plays left field and bats 9th. Colby Lewis on the mound tonight for the Texas Rangers.
Well, for Colby Lewis, as we talked about, he's pitched all over the place, but nothing quite like a Game 6 that you know if you win, you're sending your team to the World Series. He has dominated right-handers, got a really good slider. He pitched effective in his first game against the Yankees. And the one thing, Ron, it's been a theme for the pitchers. Pitch ahead, good success. Pitch from behind, these hitters have been really good.
You know, especially with Colby Lewis, because his best pitch is his out pitch, the slider and curveball that he uses to rack up those strikeouts. 193 this season. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get to that put-away pitch.
Texas Rangers head for their positions, as do the 6 members of the umpiring crew. Brian Gorman behind the plate. Jerry Davis at first. Tony Randazzo makes the calls at second, and Jim Reynolds is at third. Down the lines, Angel Hernandez in left, and Field and Culbreth patrolling the right field line.
For Colby Lewis, he now has an extra right-hander in there because of the injury to Mark Teixeira. So 3 right-handers he can pitch to if he needs to get out of trouble. But look at those numbers. Awfully good. And on the year, you know, he was a guy that just didn't get many runs. That's why he had a losing record, but it wasn't indicative of how he pitched. He doesn't give up many hits. He will walk guys from time to time. As you look, 8 walks to 11 strikeouts. That's the only concern for Ron Washington, is can he keep his stuff long enough? For this game, it's all about go as hard as you can, as long as you can, because the bullpen's going to be a big factor in tonight's game.
For Colby Lewis, it's really come full circle. He was signed by this team in 1999. He played here 2002 to 2004 and was 10-9 in 2003, and then came all the journeys. Detroit signed him in 04. He missed the entire 05 season because of rotator cuff soreness. Pitched in 2 games in 2006. Washington signed him in November of 06. He didn't pitch there. Oakland signed him in 07. He pitched in 26 games. Kansas City signed him and then released him a month later. Then he went to Japan for 2 seasons, where he was 26 and 17. And now he is back in the Texas Rangers uniform and pitching in the biggest game in franchise history.
Hurts your feelings to be released like that, doesn't it? This is his uniform for the Hiroshima Carp, 2008 and 2009. He said one of the things going over there, he learned how to pitch with his breaking ball, and that's why he had so much success this season.
And one of the things you didn't mention, Ernie, as a DH, he hit 3 home runs in Japan. Gotta like that from a pitcher.
You especially. Well, these fans in Arlington have been waiting all day long to get here and make some noise, and boy, have they. In between, putting the umbrellas up and down and the ponchos, taking those on and off, and we are ready to go in Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. Derek Jeter steps in. First pitch swinging. Andrews in the hole. Strike one down.
Defensively behind Colby Lewis in this 6th game. David Murphy gets the start against right-handed pitching. He's in left. Josh Hamilton in center. That moves Nelson Cruz to right field. In the infield, Young, Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland. Mitch Mullins had a nice series in this ALCS, and Benji Melita in his gold gloves behind the plate.
Here's Granderson. .385 in the postseason, .333 in this series for the Yankees center fielder. Three balls and a strike to the Yankees' #2 hitter, who's walked 6 times in this postseason.
You can see when Colby's out there, Ron, he doesn't mess around. He gets the ball, he's on the mound, he's got a little side straddle, not completely like Cliff Lee, but he wants the ball and he's going to continue to pitch fast.
The Yankees with a base runner with 1 down here in the 1st.
Walks is what got C.J. Wilson in trouble in the 5th game. Let's see if it gets Lewis in trouble in this one.
This guy can get you there. Robinson Cano, you talked about him in the pregame segment, Ron, and he has not cooled down for a second.
Well, we were kidding the other day saying he has a slump-proof swing, but so far in the series, he has had a slump-proof swing.
.421 in this series, 8 out of 19, 4 home runs and 5 runs batted in. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Opponents hit just .227 against Colby Lewis in the regular season. Good for #8 in the American League.
I always found the team that was down, it's going to be interesting to see how aggressive the Yankee hitters are going to be. You saw Jeter swing at the first pitch. Now Cano, when you're down 3-2, you want to get on the board first, quiet the crowd, get your team going, give Phil Hughes something to work with.
There goes Granderson. Pop up behind third. 2 down.
Well, you can see Lewis trying to come inside. That really has been the problem with the Ranger pitchers against Cano. They've had an inability to get inside. That time Lewis did.
The expected welcome for the former Ranger Alex Rodriguez. Just 176 in the series, 3 out of 17. And he's only knocked in 3 runs in the entire postseason without a home run.
Only one home run in his last 68 at bats here.
Boy, he missed that pitch, John. That was a hanger.
Yeah, you just don't see A-Rod when he's going good missing that pitch. That's usually a fan's
souvenir.
Souvenir.
Huh?
You know, with the infield, they watered it before the game, Ron, and then they weren't able to get the tarp on during the national anthem. And so it's going to be a little bit of an interesting track for base stealers because there was a lot of water that the infield received without the tarp on. Actually, both times they put the tarp on, it stopped raining.
2-1. Actually, that entire national anthem episode, that you got to salute the grounds crew of the Texas Rangers for their patience as they waited for the Marine Color Guard to march off the field and before covering it up. And meantime, B.J. Thomas made for dry ground.
I'd have been patient too. They had rifles, didn't they?
Tempting fate, though, as Sager said. Raindrops kept falling on B.J. Thomas's head.
2-1. There goes Granderson. This is popped foul. And out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, one thing that did stay dry the entire time was the mound. You can see the surface they put on top. Sometimes, you know, that diamond dry or whatever they use if you got clay underneath, these pitchers are going to be going to the backside of the mound and using a tool to get the mud out of their cleats because it's important that they have the best traction of anybody.
Granderson going again. Throw. Got it. Benji Molina, who's been a Gold Glover, throws a strike. We go to the bottom of the first. Followed by Michael Young. Then it's Josh Hamilton, Vlad Guerrero in the DH spot, followed by Cruz, then Kinsler, David Murphy in left, Benji Molina behind the plate, and Mitch Moreland, who's had a solid series at the plate, batting ninth against Phil Hughes.
Phil Hughes has an exploding fastball, one that the hitters don't seem to get on top. We're going to see how he establishes it early on in the game. You look at his numbers already in this postseason. Really had a scoreless streak in the stadium, and then it was thwarted by the Rangers' onslaught of runs in Game 2.
He's had one good start in the postseason versus Minnesota, one bad start here against the Texas Rangers.
Went 4+ in Game 2. Gave up 10 hits, 7 earned runs, a home run to David Murphy along the way as Andrews bunts foul. Yankees well aware of what Andrews likes to do. Gets a lot of infield hits, a lot of bunt hits. And he is the key to that Texas running game. Ran it inside and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hughes started the year 10-1 through June 19th. Didn't allow a home run on the road until July 30th. That ball's hit hard to center. It's going to split the gap. And it's a stand-up double for Elvis Andrews.
one of the things that really was troublesome for Phil Hughes in the first game. He'd get 2 strikes, but wasn't able to put the hitters away. Nice hitting here by Andrews, and the defense, which had Granderson playing to right center, allowed that big gap in left center field, and by the time Granderson got to it, a double for Elvis Andrews.
His team-high 17th base hit of the postseason. And here's Michael Young. Rain has returned, as you can see.
Michael Young's going to try the best he can based on the way Phil Hughes pitches him to try and drive the ball to right field and get a runner on third with less than 2 outs, or get a hit and possibly score him.
What do you do when you pitch in the rain, John?
You know, the biggest thing is, as long as you know your footing's fine, you just try to get the grip of the baseball. And typically, you're going to get and go through a lot of baseballs in this game. But you just really want to know that your feet are fine on that foundation when you drive right there.
John, you were talking about Young and what he can do to try to make a productive out. You thwart that as a pitcher by pounding the right-handed hitter in or throwing a curveball, which is apt to be pulled to the left side.
One and 2 to Michael Young.
Well, Jorge Posada already going out to Phil Hughes, probably to talk to him. He had pointed out to Andrews at second base, make sure you keep an eye on him. But, you know, for a young pitcher, you do want to watch the runner on second base, but don't take away from the pitch you're going to deliver to Michael Young.
Again, took a shot the other way, fouled it off.
Those breaking pitches have been up. He's got to show Michael Young he can get this pitch down and get him swinging over the top. Those are 2 pitches he could have handled and hurt Phil Hughes. Make the adjustment now before it starts bleeding into your head, all these 2-strike hits that the Rangers are getting.
In game 2, the Rangers had 5 2-strike hits against Hughes.
John, he's putting himself in a good position, but once he gets the 2 strikes, those pitches are just too good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a hitter and you get to 3 and 2, 2-strike hits are just what they are. But when you got a 1 and 2, 0 and 2 count and you surrender hits, that's hard to take for a pitcher because you're on the attack, and that's the aggression that you need to have to put him away.
Gets Young swinging, low and away, 1 down.
Joe Girardi's defense for the Yankees this evening. Brett Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher. They've been the outfield for every game. Alex Rodriguez, Jeter, Robinson Cano, Lance Berkman, of course, for the injured Mark Teixeira at first base. And Jorge Posada, 5-time All-Star, great postseason player behind the plate.
Josh Hamilton was only 2 out of 18 in the first series against Tampa Bay, coming off the rib injury. 6 out of 19, 316 with 4 home runs in this series against the Yankees. Hit to left. Andrews will be held up at third. And they're at the corners with 1 down.
Well, there aren't many times that you're not going to score Andrews from second base on a base hit. Only time it's going to happen is when a guy like Hamilton up there who hits a bullet to left field. Dave Anderson, the third base coach, no chance to score Andrews after this ball was picked up on 2 hops by Gardner. Discretion, the better part of valor there. It's like trying to stop a train with Andrews coming around third. If he was third base coach, I think he would have sent him.
I think just like the new video games where you actually do it by running, he was doing it right there, trying to get Andrews to pick him up and put him down and score that first run. You know, with the power that Josh Hamilton has, I was surprised how shallow Gardner played.
Only because of his speed. He plays the shallowest left field of anyone in the American League.
Well, let's see what happens first and third. Remember game 2 of this series? Same runners were on base. Andrews scored on the back end of a double steal. Swiped home for the first run. Here's Vladimir Guerrero.
The double steal in game 2. Hamilton off running. Never looked back was Elvis Andrews by Jorge Posada. And as soon as Posada delivered the ball to second, scored easily.
The Rangers cleanup man has no runs batted in this series. And only 1 for the postseason. You see the vast discrepancy in getting it done with runners in scoring position in this series. 1-1 to Guerrero. Breaking pitch over, a ball and 2 strikes.
Guerrero shaking his head. He said not only inside, but that ball was high. Big looping breaking ball from Hughes, John.
Yeah, it's just a little too high right now. If he's going to get out of trouble, he has a great breaking ball, but it's got to get down.
There goes Hamilton. Bouncing to the right side. That will score the game's first run. Rangers 1-0.
Talk about pushing the right buttons. If Hamilton's not going, you have a chance to turn 2 on this ground ball to Cano. Instead, only 1 out, and the first RBI for Guerrero as Andrews scores.
Hamilton in scoring position now at second with 2 down. Here's Nelson Cruz, who left game 5 with a tight hamstring. Sounded from talking to Ron Washington tonight that was much more of a precautionary move than it was a serious injury at the time for Cruz. He didn't want it to develop into something more serious, and so took him out.
He hurt both his hamstrings this season. The reason he came out of the game is because he complained of where his most recent hamstring injury had been, and that's why Ron Washington set him down.
Andrews a leadoff double. Young struck out. Hamilton a single put him at the corners, and then a Vladimir Guerrero ground out to second plated the game's first run. And the breaking pitch way up high, John.
Well, if you're Phil Hughes, ever since game 4, about that time frame, you've been waiting for this start for redemption. But early on, whether it's the warm-up, the inconsistency with the rain, his pitches have not come out the way you want them to. You got to will yourself to make pitches in this situation. Keep it to just 1 run.
Fly ball to right. That'll end the inning. But the Rangers get on the board. Elvis Andrews starts it with a double and scores the game's first run. Allowed the Ranger fans to boo Alex Rodriguez again as he was at the plate when Granderson was thrown out, and he leads it off here in the second.
It's been a lot of hanging sliders from both pitchers early in this game, John. Is that overthrowing maybe?
I think it's a combination of just, you know, with the weather and going to the rosin and trying to have a good feel for the baseball. But I think it's, to your point, there's some anxiety there too, that neither one of these guys has had much experience in games like this. And you always wonder how each guy's going to handle it as the game approaches.
One is lined, and Elvis Andrews flags it down. Ought to be 22 and have springs.
Well, we talked about the maturation of Andrews and his defense. Really had the time, that line drive, have the hops to get up there, and what a fine play to get the first out here in the second inning.
Here's Lance Berkman. Berkman, of course, pressed into duty as the starting first baseman with the injury to Mark Teixeira in New York. Teixeira with the right hamstring injury, and then Berkman hit the deck the other night, chasing a foul ball. He had those molded cleats on at the time and would later change to the regular cleats.
You know what's interesting is Mark Teixeira mentioned that he had said something that it's almost like concrete over there with a little sand on top, and they're going to have to try to change that.
The 0-2 threw that ball about 51 feet. The thing about Berkman too, the other night after that happened, trainers came out and they were talking to him, but really hadn't asked him anything. He just volunteered that he knew who the president was and what the date was.
He's been through that game before.
Hit well to center, but easy for Josh Hamilton. 2 up and 2 down.
What's interesting about that at bat, you really want to elevate the ball to Lance Berkman. He's much better down, but I've seen the recipe so far that Colby's got to be feeling pretty good as some of these pitches are staying in the park, and he's got to make some adjustments because this Yankee lineup's too good.
He must be living right. 2 BBs for outs.
Here's Swisher. Hitting just 194 in the postseason, 6 out of 31. And in this series, 105, 2 out of 19.
Those last 2 curveballs were sharp and good.
Not that one.
It's funny when you watch Benji Molina, when he gives the curveball, if he wants it outside, he kind of touches the inside of his left leg. If he wants it inside, he touches the inside of his right leg. Same sign, and gives the direction at the same time.
First strikeout. A 1-2-3 inning. That was out number 1. In the regular season, moving a runner along, knocking a runner in. Rangers with 304, and you saw Vlad Guerrero do that very thing his first time up as he grounded to second to score a run. Here's Ian Kinsler, takes a strike. Kinsler homered 3 times in the first series against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, those numbers in the postseason, 333. Most of that damage, as you mentioned, Ernie, was in the ALDS.
In this series, 222, 4 out of 18, no home runs and 2 runs batted in. He leads it off in the bottom half of the second. On a hop to Rodriguez. 1 down. Let us check in again with Craig Sager. Segs.
Well, the theme for the Rangers tonight, don't try to do too much. Hitting coach Clint Hurdle has a formula that he developed with Zach Rosenthal in Colorado. They want at least 17 productive team plate appearances. Hits are good, but so are walks, sacrifices, advancing runners, and working the pitch count. 17 is the number they want. It's held true to form. In the 2 losses, they've had less than 17. In the 3 wins, they've averaged above that.
Thanks, Craig. Here's David Murphy. Murphy's 1 home run in this postseason came off the guy he's facing right here in Game 6.
You know, for Phil Hughes' changeup, he's got kind of a short arm fastball, and it just gives less room for error for that changeup. You got to be that much better in getting your arm out and following through with the same fastball motion, and those 2 are just lagging.
2-2.
And what happens is if you don't create the arm speed and let the grip take the miles per hour off, they just kind of fade and they're never an effective pitch. And those 2 have to be closer to the plate to be effective.
Murphy runs the count full.
I think you're right, John. I think one of the things he does, kind of a Western Union telegram when he shows his changeup. You know it's coming.
Murphy caught looking. No, he didn't think so. 2 down.
Well, so far, home plate umpire Brian Gorman has had a very big strike zone for both these pitchers. That ball you can see almost in the other batter's box on our pitch tracks. And it makes it much easier for both Hughes and Lewis to go there. If you are Lewis sitting on the bench, you say to yourself, I'm going to have that outside corner all day long.
Absolutely. That's where you know each umpire is going to give you a little bit more on one side of the plate. The Yankees are going to take advantage of it if he continues to pound that part of the plate.
The 3 of us in the booth all wondering who will be the first to say Huey Lewis when you have this Hughes and Lewis pitching matchup. Got out of Game 2 without doing it. Here's Benji Molina. That'll be easy for Swisher. And that'll be an easy inning for Phil Hughes as we head to the 3rd in Texas.
100 DirecTV and by BlackBerry.
Top half of the 5th. Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Alex Rodriguez leads it off for the Yankees.
Start getting about this time of the game. It's nervousness for not only everybody but the next day's starting pitchers. There's only one pitcher that knows he's going to pitch no matter what happens tonight. The other one's hoping to pitch.
There is Andy Pettit, who would face Cliff Lee if there is a Game 7. Rodriguez lined out his first time, best defensive play of the game, as Elvis Andrus climbed the ladder to flag it down. 3 balls and 1 strike. Curtis Granderson has been the only base runner for New York. Has reached on walks both times. Caught stealing once and then erased in a double play in the 4th.
That's a pitch that when he is locked in, he does not swing at. 3-1.
Count remains 3-2. Kobe Lewis has talked about the pressure of the postseason and saying he's got a reality check as far as that concerns. He said pressure is moving your family to Japan like he did to play 2 seasons and not knowing what that was going to be like. That ball to left center field, and that splits the outfielders. David Murphy picks it up, and A-Rod is at second with a leadoff double in the 5th.
Nice hitting by Alex Rodriguez. Got a 3-2 slider from Colby Lewis. And the thing about Alex, he is so strong. You can be even fooled on a tough pitch down and away, and almost with one hand deliver that ball to the left center field gap. Murphy had a little problem with it getting it back in, but just a double for Rodriguez.
So the Yankees have the tying run at second for Lance Berkman. Berkman flied to center his first time. Rodriguez with the lead at second. And that ball's hit well to right center field. Nelson Cruz back. Hamilton at the track. Makes the play. And Rodriguez tags and trots to third. It's time to talk, brought to you by Charles Schwab. Moments ago, we talked to Ron Washington, the Rangers manager, about the night so far for Colby Lewis.
Well, you know, he's spotting his fastball pretty good, and he got a good slider working tonight also in his changeup, you know. Granderson has looked like so far the one guy he can't seem to make the pitches that he want to make on. But, you know, as long as he can keep the ball down and able to put his slider where he wants to, I think we'll be in good shape.
Ron, you were very animated when Dave Anderson, your third base coach, held up Andrews, but he scored eventually. Big run for you guys.
Well, it was a huge run right there, you know. And anytime you can get on top, you know, it's definitely better for you. We had some more opportunities, and if we can just keep getting them out there, something good will happen for us.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, guys.
That ball gets away from Benji Molina.
But Swisher was hit by the pitch. It bounced once and hit Swisher in the batter's box, it looked like to me.
That's what Molina is arguing. That's what Washington's going to argue. Because as it stands, the game is tied. If that ball hits Swisher, they're at first and third.
There's a curveball from Colby Lewis. You can see it hits him right on the shin on one bounce. He even reacted from it hitting him. And of course, Alex, you got to play it out. The ball gets by Molina. He's going to come and score. And even reacting to getting hit, Swisher knows now that since it's not called, I might as well just pretend that I wasn't hit. One hop off the shin, left shin. And change directions. That's why I got by Molina.
Swisher had an at-bat in New York where the ball appeared to him on the pants leg and he didn't react and nothing was called. But watch his reaction after the ball hits his shin.
And it changes direction. That's why it goes between the 5-hole there from Benji Molina. I mean, no one of the umpires on the bases saw that play.
Put it in the books as a wild pitch that scores Alex Rodriguez. And the game is tied at 1.
Well, back to my theory of you can only replay things where a run has scored on a play. That would be a good one to replay.
A tapper. Lewis gets him by a step.
I mean, it was obvious up here. It's got to be tougher in the trenches, but still, ball when it bounces, hits off the shin, redirects underneath Molina, allows Alex Rodriguez to score. No other umpire helped Brian Gorman, the home plate umpire, with this play, and it's a shame for the Rangers.
Well, a ball doesn't change directions like that when it hits the ground. The catcher's going to know that, obviously, and that was his big beef. He's like, look, I'm moving to where the ball's going to go. It went opposite.
And on that ball by Swisher, Rodriguez wouldn't have scored. It'd be 2 outs. He'd still be at third base.
Here's Posada. So in the regular season, in a game at Tampa Bay, Derek Jeter had a ball hit the knob of his bat, and he sold it for a hit by pitch. Here, Swisher is hit by a pitch and sells it for a wild pitch.
You remember in Game 4, Swisher was up. This ball brushed his pant leg, and it should have been a hit by pitch. Ever since then, he has hiked up his pants and wearing them a little higher, so he doesn't have that flare anymore.
0-2 to Posada. Down the first base line and off the glove of Moreland. Posada will be at second. That ball kicked up. And Moreland just able to get a glove on it. And Posada's at second.
Hanging breaking ball by Colby Lewis. When you put that dry stuff on the field, you never know what's going to happen, but that wasn't the case. It hit the bag. Once it hit the bag, it went over the glove of Moreland, who had a chance, and he's shown a great range in this series. But a nice break for Posada. If that didn't come up, I think it would have been a double down the line anyways.
So the go-ahead run is at second with 2 out for Marcus Timms. Timms popped to short his first time. He's knocked in 1 run in this series. And Posada's out there at second for him with 2 down. Eric Holland getting loose in the Texas bullpen. He's been effective in a couple of outings.
That's how crucial these outs are. 10 minutes ago, Colby Lewis was throwing a no-no. Now the bullpen is up.
And to my point earlier, in a regular season game, no one would be up. I mean, it's the way it works.
Straight back and out of play. A ball and 2 strikes to Timms.
Well, one of the things the Yankees haven't done hitting-wise is driving in runs with 2 outs. 2 for 21 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position against the Rangers.
Fouled off at the plate. Stays 1-2. Posada scored a run the other day on that crazy play on the throw from right field, and C.J. Wilson threw the wild toss to the plate. Yankees were kidding, saying Posada was like Ricky Henderson, just going to run till somebody tagged him. Nobody did. Timms waves at it for the 3rd out. But the Yankees tie the score. Allstate, exclusively on SI.com. Bottom half of the 5th inning in what is now a tie game. Game 6 of the ALCS. And here is Mitch Moreland, who led off the 3rd with a walk against Phil Hughes. So the Rangers score their run on a ground out in the 1st inning. And in the 5th, the Yankees score on what was ruled a wild pitch. Actually a ball that bounced up and hit Nick Swisher in the leg and carried him away. And Alex Rodriguez scored on it, 1-1.
We mentioned Jeter and Swisher now. The Lee Strasberg School of Acting is in New York City, Ernie.
The 1-1 grounded on the right side. Cano makes the stop. Hughes over there, but Moreland's going to be safe. Posada backing up on the play.
Well, this is one of those kind of plays that you will see that wouldn't happen probably with Mark Teixeira. One, he would have probably got to the ball, and if he doesn't, he would have held his ground at first base. Makes it a difficult play here because you have to hit a moving target, and Phil Hughes at first base, and Robinson Cano not able to do that. Hughes got over there awfully late.
Now here's Elvis Andrus, Rangers leadoff hitter, doubled in the bottom half of the 1st and scored the only Ranger run. Rodriguez in on the grass at 3rd. Hey, Rod, you see him creeping in, and Andrus steps out.
Well, here as a pitcher, you're trying to figure out what they're going to do. I mean, you never assume they're going to bunt in this situation. You got to throw a quality pitch and hope that he might sacrifice here and give you an out with a runner on 2nd.
Got to bunt this ball to Berkman. Less experience at first base than A-Rod at 3rd.
Bunts it back to the screen.
One of the things that happens for leadoff hitters who are very fast, they spend all their time trying to learn how to lay down those bunts for base hits. Sometimes it's hard for them to stay in that box, not move their body, and totally sacrifice themselves to move the runner up.
I always felt there was a little gap between the pitcher and the first baseman charging straight at the second baseman. You could sometimes punch that bunt by him if you want to get a base hit.
This is a part of the game for the Rangers. Ron Washington and Elvis Andrus. 17 sacrifice bunts this season.
Joe Girardi and his bench coach Tony Pena. Andrus takes this time. A ball and a strike. Moreland at first after an infield single. The 3rd Texas hit.
But at some point, if you're Andrus, you got to make either A-Rod or Berkman pay for charging too hard and pull the bat back and do what's called a slug bunt or something. You know, you swing and get those guys from not charging so hard.
Last at bat, Ron Washington put on the hit and run after Moreland had walked.
There goes Moreland. Reaches out and taps to second. They did it again, Ron.
Well, sometimes you say, well, this is not very good hitting. This is great hitting by Andrews. A real pitcher's pitch. And what you have to do when you're called to hit and run, you have to get the ball on the ground. It doesn't matter where the pitch was. Nice by Elvis.
Yo, Elvis, put him in play, man.
So the go-ahead run at second in a 1-1 game, and here's Michael Young. He's 0 for 2.
Talked about the scenario, who could possibly hit their 5th home run first. Well, if there's always a gap or an open base at first, it certainly isn't going to be Hamilton, because the Yankees have showed they're just going to walk him. Excitable walk, but a walk none the least.
Young, who just turned 34 a few days ago. In a big spot here in a tie game and a runner at second. David Robertson loosens in the Yankee pen. 1-1. Posada with the nifty backhand. Keep the runner at second.
It's always the most difficult thing for a catcher. Calls for the fastball in, ball thrown on the other side of the plate. Catchers assume that a pitcher is going to be able to hit at least part of its spot, get it close enough to the inside. Totally missed there by Hughes.
Right back to the mound. Moreland goes to third as Hughes looked at him and then made the play to first.
Well, not really a play here for Alex Rodriguez. Could not get the third on time. The prudent play is to get the out at first base.
Well, they're going to walk Josh Hamilton again, but remember last time this happened, ball one went to the screen.
Well, if it wasn't part of the rules, you might put someone behind Posada right now. You can see Hughes now throwing that ball a little crisper. That's always better when you try and intentionally walk the hitter. We said who is going to get the big hit. The MVP candidates, Cano or Hamilton. Looks like the Yankee game plan is to not allow Hamilton a chance.
Hamilton singled his first time, which put runners at first and third. But now has been intentionally walked in his last two trips. So first and third with two out for Vlad Guerrero. He knocked in the only Ranger run with a ground out to second in the first. He popped up to second in the third. And that ribby in the first was his first of this series. We're in game 6. We're all tied. Runners at first and third. Hit hard to center. Granderson back. He won't get there. That ball is off the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes the throw. There will be no throw to the plate. Josh Hamilton scores. And it's a 3-1 Texas lead.
1-0 hanging curveball for Phil Hughes. Jumped all over by Vladimir Guerrero. He's been doing it all season long for this team. 2 outs, RBIs, 52. That led the American League.
The guy who had not knocked in a run in this series has knocked in all 3. And this one knocked out Phil Hughes.
Hey, goggles.
Captain and Cola for the pregame. That's the best idea you've ever had.
I wanna lay you down.
Yeah, it is my best.
Captain and Cola for the pregame. It's the best idea ever.
The critics have spoken more than once. Test drive the all-new BMW 5 Series, awarded top safety pick. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
50,000 roaring here in Arlington as we send it down to Craig Sager.
Well, it's been a great night for Vladimir Guerrero, and it all started when his mom, Altagracia, cooked his favorite meal before the game tonight. In fact, she cooked it for all the Latin players, not only on the Texas Rangers, but also on the New York Yankees. And I'll tell you what's in it. 15 pounds of rice, 20 pounds of meatballs, and 8 pounds of beans. So this is what Altagracia Guerrero cooked for her son tonight, and so far he's come through, driving in 3 runs. Okay.
And the Rangers back home, nothing like home cooking, as they lead it 3-1. Nelson Cruz steps up with 2 down. And Guerrero at second. What a huge 2-out double by Guerrero. In tight to Cruz. 1-0. Robertson has worked in games 2, 3, and 4, and here he is in game 6. Trying to keep the Rangers right where they are.
Well, Robertson's had 2 good appearances, 1 poor one, when he gave up 5 runs in that 9th at Yankee Stadium.
A ball and 2 strikes. Well, the strategy worked the first time they tried it in the 3rd. Walking Hamilton with 2 out. Guerrero popped up. This time, he made him pay with a 2-run double.
Well, Phil Hughes thought the first pitch, John, was a strike with his slider, but he hung this pitch.
Yeah, it definitely, first pitch was a strike, but you got to come back and make a better pitch than this right here on a hitter that you know is going to be attacking anywhere close to the strike zone. At some point, he's going to have to heat up Cruz. He slowed him down with 3 straight breaking balls. Get him thinking slow, slow, slow. We'll see if Robinson and Posada decide to throw a fastball and get it by him.
Just did get a piece. Ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. That ball is drilled. Granderson on his horse. That ball is gone! Second home run of the series for Cruz. 5-1 Rangers.
Tried to come in with a fastball, caught too much of the plate. That ball down is right in his wheelhouse. And a long shot to left center field. Texas has been better than the Yankees with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. 8 for 24 now, and that big home run.
The only...
That's been the most restrained reaction from Ron Washington all night. Lined fair into the corner and left. Kinsler can trot into second with a 2-out double. Lewis, you saw him in the dugout, now staked to a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, this knuckle curveball just hangs over the middle of the plate. A guy who loves it in there pulls it down the line. And part of the problem with the previous at-bat, everything that Dave Robertson throws cuts. And you could see that he wanted the ball up, but he threw it in and it cut down the middle of the plate. One of those things you got to play off your strengths, maybe go away with the ball that's cutting off the barrel of the bat. And right now, the Rangers taking advantage of every mistake in this inning that built a 5-1 lead.
28 two-strike hits for the Texas Rangers in this series.
Kerry Wood up before his normal time. It all started with an infield single by Mitch Moreland. Then a couple outs. Then an intentional walk to Hamilton. Then it all broke loose. Guerrero with a double. Cruz with a dinger. Kinsler with a double. Murphy's 0 for 2.
The Yankees don't make a comeback. They will look at coming in to this ball game. Their pitcher's ERA in the series was 6.55. It's about to go up.
And what's amazing is you never know what is going to lead to a big inning. A harmless infield hit, maybe get over late. All the strategy was right. Walk the MVP type guy, pitched to Vladdy, and it came down to one pitch hanging in the middle of the zone, and the Rangers took advantage of it, and they took advantage of it with extra base hits.
Pop foul behind third, and Rodriguez doesn't have room. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You mentioned, Ron, that ERA of 6.5. That would be their highest in all the ALCS they've played. It was 5.17 back in 2004 when they led the Red Sox 3-0 and lost it in 7. Here they're trying to come back from a 3-1 deficit, and they've got an uphill battle on their hands here in Game 6. We're due at 2-2 to David Murphy. That ball is lined toward the foul pole, but it's going to be bending foul. 50,000 on their feet here, not ready to sit down.
If you look at this series, Ernie, it's been the 12th time that the Rangers have had what we call a crooked number inning. That's huge already here in the 6th game. It's hard to that's hard to overtake. 4 runs here in the 5th.
For the fans here, that's not crooked enough. A squibber to third, and Rodriguez will tag Kinsler for the final out, but not before some 5th-inning fireworks by the Texas Rangers. Vlad Guerrero with the 2-out double, and Nelson Cruz going yard. It's 5-1.
Camera with wide-angle lens, $300. Identical camera with identical lens, 30% off on MasterCard Marketplace.
Wait, how much?
Ibuprofen, $12. X-ray, $90. Chiropractor, $200.
I'm okay.
A smarter way to shop online, priceless. Introducing MasterCardMarketplace.com, your personalized shopping experience with the things you want for less.
Another day, another dollar. Daylight comes, I'm on my way. Another day, another dollar. Working my whole life away. Another day, another dollar.
Close enough just isn't good enough. If your car is in an accident, make sure it's repaired with the right replacement parts.
Take the scary out of life with Travelers. Call or click now for an agent or quote.
AT&T covers 97% of all Americans. Rethink possible.
Now another Conan Blimp moment made possible by AT&T.
I'm coming to you from my TBS Blimp, currently cruising at 6,000 feet, traveling at 70 knots per hour.
Actually, we're at 400 feet, traveling at 3 knots per hour.
Okay, please, Admiral, I was speaking.
Captain.
I'm sorry, this is Captain Steve.
Scott.
Can we at least agree that we're in a blimp?
Actually, it's a dirigible.
It's very tense, man.
Don't touch that.
Conan premieres November 8th at 11, only on TBS. Very funny. Presented by AT&T.
This American League Championship Series coverage on TBS is presented by Capital One Venture Card. We move to the top half of the 6th inning. In a New York minute, it went from 1-1 to 5-1 Texas. And Brett Gardner leads it off. Bunts it foul. Remember game 1 of this series? It was a 5-1 game, Texas, in the 8th inning. And this was Brett Gardner's hustle play that ignited their 5-run rally. Here in game 6, it's the 6th inning in a 5-1 game, and Gardner leads it off.
Not in the bag yet. 52 times, first in the majors, the New York Yankees scored 4 or more runs in an inning.
Gardner was called out on strikes his first time, which ended the third. Lewis has struck out 3. And he's walked a couple. Granderson both times, but with no damage.
Well, he led all the starters in shutdown innings after the team has scored. Let's see if he can respond.
In foul territory, and a lot of Rangers give chase, but nobody has a shot.
I don't want to put too much pressure on him, John. This is the biggest shutdown inning in their franchise history. How about that?
Yeah, no pressure.
Well, the way you do that is you get this speedster off the base. I always felt like the first out was so important. It just kept you from feeling like a big inning might start.
And he's got the disruptive, as his teammate C.J. Wilson calls him, Brett Gardner. To second. Kinsler knew he had to hurry and got it over there. 1 down. So if you're Kobe Lewis, then you're taking that deep breath.
Yeah.
You exhale, 1 down.
But then you do it all over again. You keep telling yourself you know you're not going to pitch long into the game, or at least the feeling is you're not going to pitch long into the game. You want to keep getting outs. It's so important to grind on every pitch from this point on. This is what you want to be. This is the position you want to be in.
Here's the top of the New York order in Derek Jeter. On a hop to Michael Young. 2 up and 2 down.
You're so right, John. In the postseason, it's almost like you have a bucket behind the mound. All you're trying to do is fill it up with outs. You hope you can get it as full as you can.
Lewis went 5 2/3 in his other start in this series. He is at 5 2/3 right now and leading 5-1. And here's Granderson. This is the guy he's struggled with the most. Granderson has worked a couple of walks off of him. 1-0.
This is a huge out because of all the Yankee hitters. It's Cano on deck that can get them close the quickest.
He's ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That is what you call a shutdown inning.
Straight from the theater to your living room a month before Netflix. Don't just watch TV. Direct TV.
What do you ladies got there?
Woody's apple pecan chicken salad and a baked potato.
A BLT Cobb and a chili.
For one price, you can pick 2 things.
What do you got?
This.
Oh, only one thing?
I have something else.
Now you can
Then pick 2 at Wendy's. Any half-size salad and one of 7 tasty options for just $4.99.
You know when it's real.
John Hancock, the future is yours. Visit findtheanswers.com.
Repeat after me. I am a kid.
I am a kid.
And now that we're with T-Mobile,
I'm free!
So I will not text while driving.
Or operating heavy machinery.
No more ringtones with nasty lyrics.
I will always be it in our game of phone tag.
T-Mobile presents Kids Are Free for the first time ever when you switch to any family plan. T-Mobile, the family network. Introducing the Samsung Vibrant, a Galaxy S phone. Now buy one and get another free only from T-Mobile.
The critics have spoken more than once. Test drive the all-new BMW 5 Series, awarded top safety pick. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
The American League Championship Series coverage on TBS is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15%. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Bottom half of the 6th inning. Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Texas trying to advance to the World Series for the first time in franchise history and leading by 4. Kerry Wood, the 3rd New York pitcher.
Well, if you're Joe Girardi, you're hoping Kerry can get you 2 innings and that the Yankees can creep back into it, and then you start bringing in Mariano Rivera territory.
Bobby Cano will handle that easily at second for the first out. Tonight's pitching comparison brought to you by Liberty Mutual. These were the starters, Phil Hughes and Colby Lewis. Lewis still going strong. Phil Hughes did not get out of the 5th.
Well, he pitched awfully tough. He battled his way through some tensious moments, and he made pitches. And the one pitch that he didn't make with 2 outs, Ron, it really cost him, obviously, that inning to stay in there.
That was the double by Vlad Guerrero with 2 out that broke a 1-1 deadlock.
It's almost like he was a victim of the Yankees game plan. If they decided to walk Hamilton and not face him, then he knew that he would have to get out Guerrero all night long. He wasn't able to do it.
And after the big double by Guerrero, David Robertson came on, and Nelson Cruz lit him up. 2-run shot for the 5-1 lead. Here's Mitch Moreland. Hit that on the button, but Granderson's got plenty of room. 2 up and 2 down.
Well, what makes these games so interesting from the start, you know, and everyone's wondering what you're going to get. It's hard to pitch perfect, and you have to go into the mindset, hopefully your team can score some runs, but you almost have to pitch perfect. That's your mindset, saying, I will not lose. And Phil Hughes almost did that. I mean, he battled, and yeah, 1 pitch. You go back and go in a regular season game, I survive it. I'm down 3-1. I can still pitch in the game and still come back, and the team can win it for you.
Here's Andrews with nobody on and 2 down. He's 1 out of 3. Doubled and scored the first Texas run in the 1st.
You know, a lot of times what happens also, we don't talk about the pressure of the other pitcher. Lewis has just pitched better, put more pressure on Hughes, sometimes you fold.
Rodriguez throws across. 1, 2, 3 inning in the 6th. We head to the 7th.
This chalupa's huge. I can barely finish it. Joe Girardi?
You're done, kid. I gotta pull you.
Joe, I got a couple bites.
Nah, you said you could barely finish. I'm gonna make a move.
I take it from here, kid. Mo?
It's the biggest chalupa in the game. Taco Bell's new Double XL Chalupa. Double the beef, loads of nacho cheese sauce, and tons of toppings in a monster chalupa shell.
Kid chewed a heck of a chalupa today.
Yeah, for a rookie.
Think outside the bun.
Captain and Cola for the game? Might be the best idea you've ever had.
Hey, we should invent a blanket with sleeves.
I think it is my best.
Captain and Cola for the game. It's the best idea ever.
YP lets you do less searching and more living. YP.com. Click less, live more.
When it's people who do the right thing, they call it being responsible. When it's an insurance company, they call it Liberty Mutual. Responsibility. What's your policy? Liberty Mutual.
Captain and Cola for the game? Might be the best idea you've ever had.
I think it is my best.
Captain and Cola for the game. It's the best idea ever.
In baseball, miracles can happen when a team works together.
2 out, bottom of the 9th, down to their last strike.
The same is true in the fight against cancer. That's why MLB has teamed up with Stand Up to Cancer. Because we believe that when we all stand up together,
41,000 on their feet.
We can make cancer history.
Now everybody's standing.
What a buzz in this building.
This is beyond a dream. Stand up with MLB at standuptocancer.org.
TBS this November, Welcome to College. For these 4 freshmen, the rush is on. Don't miss the series premiere of Glory Days, November 16th at 10, 9 Central, only on TBS.
I looked in the thesaurus, and there's another way to spell that, so it's fine with me.
Well, we move to the 7th. Robinson Cano leads it off. If you got to face this guy, this is when you want to face him. Nobody on.
When you look at this game, Colby Lewis has been outstanding, but I think that he has to get this game as deep as he can. The bullpen for the Rangers has been spotty at times, especially their control. The more outs he gets, the better chance they get to get this game to Feliz.
Didn't mean to and almost took out A-Rod in the on-deck circle. Robinson Cano is 0 for 3. Let's go down to the field. Craig Sager for a Bank of America game break.
Well, in the National League Championship Series, Jason Worth hit a ninth-inning home run. That provided a 4-2 cushion. Roy Halladay got the win, and the Phillies now take that series back to Philadelphia. San Francisco leads 3-2. It'll be Jonathan Sanchez against Roy Oswalt tomorrow on Fox. EJ.
Thank you, Siggs. Yeah, Oswalt has started and relieved in that series. Joe Buck and Tim McCarver will have the call of Game 6 as that series moves back to Philadelphia. A-Rod swinging at the 1-0. And David Murphy tracks it down. So San Francisco with the lead in that series, but Philadelphia, when they had to, got it done last night.
Well, it's exactly what we thought it was going to be, a real pitching-rich series. Buster Posey has been outstanding. Cody Ross has had the series for ages, and just a well-contested. It's going to be interesting to see it go back to Philadelphia, where they have one of the more unique home field advantages in baseball.
Berkman to the gap. That ball tailing away from Hamilton. And it's off the wall. Hamilton goes down on the warning track. And Berkman motors into third.
Well, he's getting up and running to his position, so I think the natural tripped in left center field going after that baseball. Nice hitting by Lance Berkman, a fastball up and out over the plate. And we've already seen against Minnesota his power to left center. I thought he hurt his ankle there for a second, but got up and ran to his position. Just tripped over that left ankle.
He was smiling afterwards, but the Yankees have a runner at third now for Nick Swisher. He bats with 2 out, and he's 0 for 2. That's to left, and it'll be easy for Murphy. The Yankees get a runner to third, but can't score him. It's time to stretch in Arlington. It's also time here deep in the heart of Texas to honor America.
We ask you to please rise and join with the New York Yankees, the Texas Rangers, and all of Major League Baseball as we pause to honor the men and women of our armed services, both at home and around the globe. Tonight, we invite you to join in singing God Bless America with 2010 Miss Texas, Ashley Melnick.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Know what gets me out of bed early? Breakfast at Subway.
A big day deserves a better breakfast. Choose from a delicious lineup of our newest $5 footlong breakfast milks, like the Sunrise Subway Milk.
Subway, build your better breakfast.
Build your better breakfast at Subway with a $2.50 breakfast combo. Get a 16-ounce cup of piping hot Seattle's best coffee and a savory new Sunrise Subway milk built fresh to your order for just $2.50. Subway, build your better breakfast.
I drive all over New York City and sell treats. I tweet my location with the BlackBerry torch. It's easier and much faster, and people know right away and then come out of their offices and homes.
So I have a lot of friends playing overseas. All I got to do is hop on Facebook. They're halfway across the world, but we're still playing the same game that we both love.
If sprinkles can help someone stay, I think it's a good thing.
For fastidious librarian Emily Skinner, each day was fueled by thorough preparation for events to come. Well, somewhere along the way, Emily went right on living. But you see, with the help of her Raymond James financial advisor, she had planned for every eventuality, which meant she continued to have the means to live on, even at the ripe old age of 187. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Hey, Mavs fans.
Be there.
Are you going to be there when Kid does his fast break thing or when Jet sprouts his wings?
Be there.
Be there the next time that Tyson pounds his chest or Roddy makes some guy look like he's from the rec leagues.
Be there.
Be there when Dirk does this or whatever this is.
Be there.
Mavs fans, this stuff happens every single night, and you can be part of it. Season ticket plans and single game tickets are available right now at 214-747-MAVS or Mavs.com.
Go Rangers!
Mavs.com.
Your North Texas Honda dealers are on a roll. We're rolling out new 2011 Hondas, rolling up remaining 2010s with all-out rollout savings you won't see again. Roll in to any of our 12 convenient locations and roll out without paying a penny on a new Honda lease. Lease with these Accords, just $199 a month or zero due at signing. Rollout savings roll out soon at your closest North Texas Honda dealer. NTXHonda.com.
This American League Championship Series coverage on TBS is presented by Capital One Venture Card. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. Rangers are 6 outs away from going to the World Series for the first time. There is plenty of baseball to be played here in Arlington. Michael Young leads it off against Kerry Wood and lines the first pitch into left. A stand-up double. And the first hit of the night for Young.
We talked about the defensive positioning. The entire outfield played to right field for Michael Young. He jumped on that first pitch fastball, drove it down that left field line. You won't see Brett Gardner in your picture for some time. Nice try by Alex Rodriguez to his right and just out of his outstretched glove.
You can tell from the crowd reaction that Josh Hamilton is being intentionally walked for the 3rd time tonight. Well, the first time that was tried tonight, it worked. Vlad Guerrero popped to second to end the 3rd inning. In the 5th, Guerrero made him pay.
Well, after the walk to Hamilton, just outstanding hit in 1-0 count. Jumping on a curveball. The clock's out.
That made it 3-1, and then Cruz followed with a 2-run shot. Hamilton in the record books in the ALCS. Guerrero didn't mean to. The runners move up to second and third. Turned away in self-defense and grounded out.
Is that supposed to be a productive out?
Here's Nelson Cruz with runners at second and third, and he will also be given the free pass.
Well, you got to try to get out of this inning with only one out with a double play ball. That's why you're walking Cruz, much to the chagrin of this crowd that wants to see Cruz go deep again.
Ian Kinsler will come to the plate with the bases loaded. Jabba Chamberlain gets loose in the Yankee pen.
Well, for Kerry Wood, obviously a very important battle here, but he's going to have to get his breaking pitches over and some swing and miss stuff. Get Ian Kinsler on the defensive swinging rather than the offensive swinging that the Rangers have been all night, taking advantage of a lot of pitches over the middle of the zone.
Well, Kinsler has a chance of redemption. Picked off in game one by Kerry Wood, now facing him with the bases loaded.
Rangers trying to add to a 4-run lead. One out. And a strike to Kinsler. Hit hard to left. Gardner makes the play. And Young tags and scores the 6th Texas run. That ball was tattooed.
If you're Kerry Wood, I think I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to bury a ball up to free up some other pitches. But at that point, Ron, I think you've got to go to swing and miss stuff. You got to go to your slider or curveball again. And we haven't seen much of it out of Kerry Wood. A lot of fastballs, and the Rangers are not missing it. Great at bat for Ian Kinsler.
Runners at first and second now. 2 down for David Murphy, who takes a strike. The 4, 5, 6 hitters in the Texas lineup have done all the damage tonight. Guerrero's knocked in 3, Cruz 2, and Kinsler now 1. Rangers lead 6-1. Colby Lewis now with a 5-run advantage. The 7, 8, 9 hitters are due for the Yankees in the top half of the 8th. Andy Pettit wants one thing: the ball tomorrow. Cliff Lee wants one thing: champagne tonight. Not that Cliff wouldn't take the ball in a game 7. But if things stay as they are, there will be some party in Arlington tonight. It's 6-1. Full count to Murphy.
John, you mentioned that Lee wants the ball. He wants it in game 1.
He's going to get it no matter what. It was Andy that was really trying to find a way for his team to give him the ball. He was either going to get it tomorrow or game one in one of the National League cities.
Murphy to right. Swisher back. And he's got it for the third out. But the Rangers add to their lead here in the seventh.
This December on TNT, the men are back in the game.
Here we go.
Terry plays the field.
How do you look at yourself in the mirror?
But just sex, Joe.
Owen plays for keeps.
All right, phone's in here. Come on, let's go.
And Joe plays it cool.
Loving those balloons, huh?
Why would you say that to a woman?
But this season, the game is anything but safe.
King of the world!
Men of a Certain Age. Season premiere Monday, December 6th at 10 on TNT.
The closer the wheels are to the front and back of the vehicle, the bigger and steeper the obstacle it can go over. Guess where we put the wheels on the Jeep Grand Cherokee?
Snatching stuff takes... Oh, what is going on in here?
It's okay, relax. Watch this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, Dave.
Wow.
Is that your agent?
It's the jingle. Try it.
No.
Like a good neighbor.
Just say it.
State Farm is there.
With a sandwich.
Oh, yeah. And the girl from 4E? And can I get a hot tub?
Nice.
Find out what else State Farm agents can do for you at yagent.com.
The during, the electricity, the fuel to perform, the hustle, the battle, the destruction, the toll, the electrolytes to replenish, the carbs to endure, the original Gatorade, part of the G Series.
Recently, Sharp made a major leap forward in the science of color with Quatron by adding a fourth color, yellow, to the standard RGB color system. Quatron produces more colors and makes images brighter. When seen in 3D, whoa! Quatron makes TV so realistic, you won't believe your eyes.
Aquos Quatron 3D from Sharp. You have to see it to see it.
7 innings in the books. Let's take a look at tonight's Nissan game summary. Game 6 of the ALCS. Colby Lewis, biggest start of his life. And he has responded. So has Vladimir Guerrero. Had gone through this first 5 games of the series with no RBIs, knocked in 3 tonight. 6 outs separating the Rangers from their first trip to the World Series. Jorge Posada leads it off.
Only Yankee run scored on a disputed wild pitch.
Fifth strikeout for Colby Lewis. 1 down in the 8th.
What was the culture that Nolan Ryan was trying to change here a couple seasons ago? Get his pitchers, starting pitchers, to go deep into ball games.
Fouled away. No looking over your shoulder. No looking to the bullpen to bail you out. The Darrens are up in the 8th. Oliver the lefty. O'Day the righty. 0-2 to Timms. Fans holding up 4. The number of outs remaining. Here's Gardner. Count even. Gardner 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Jim Reynolds says he held up.
All year long, all this big right-hander for Texas did is not give up a lot of hits, strike out a lot of guys, and walk a few guys. So far, that's been the formula here. He has been outstanding in the strike zone. Only 3 hits given up, with the blemish of Granderson walking him a couple times. What a performance.
If he gets Gardner here, do you automatically go to Feliz in the 9th?
I don't. He's pitching too well. Why change it?
3-2.
Pitch count is down. He's stronger now than he was in the first couple of innings.
When you're pitching in a situation like this, guys, and the crowd is amped like they are, what is that like?
Well, the first thing you tell yourself is not to overthrow and get too carried away. He's not doing that. He's staying well within himself. There's an incredible adrenaline rush that you want to stay on attack and make that crowd as loud as possible, and he's done a nice job. Just don't overthrow.
A 2-out walk to Gardner. Mike Maddox will meet with his starting pitcher.
I think what can happen sometimes also, John, follow up when the crowd is this loud. You've struck out the first 2 hitters. All you have is strikeout on the brain. You got to wipe that away too. Just outs. Outs are more important.
Yeah, all Mike's doing right here is, he could see how disgusted he was that he walked him. He's just. I use the word reset a lot because that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to reset the brain and say, okay, let's go. Just get this guy out.
Will face Derek Jeter, who's 0 for 3 and hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield tonight. Grounded to short, grounded to the mound, grounded to third.
That being said, John, reset. But if he doesn't get Jeter here, this will be his last hitter.
Let's not forget, from the 5th inning on, pretty much, there was bullpen activity for the Rangers too in a 1-1 game. So he's held his own. He's put himself in a nice position. If he can get this out, the crowd's going to go nuts. His teammates are going to go nuts. Good night.
He's ahead 0-2.
And I don't think we can ever forget in these games that are well pitched in the postseason, Benjamin Molina's got to get a lot of the credit also.
it's planes in the sky for a chain of supply, that's logistics. When the parts for the line come precisely on time, that's logistics. A continuous link that is always in sync, that's logistics. There will be no more stress 'cause you called UPS, that's logistics.
The critics have spoken more than once. Test drive the all-new BMW 5 Series, awarded top safety pick. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
You are out with friends. There's Jason. Wait, that's Dave. And that's the Forbidden Dance. And you aren't about to keep it all to yourself. You've got an eye for detail. The Droid Incredible by HTC. Exclusively at Verizon.
How to speak Australian. Long-distance relationship. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Healing offers addiction treatment for adults on a quiet, serene hilltop just outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. From prescription drugs and alcohol to sex and food, all addictions are addressed and treated by our experienced staff. At Sante, our clients are more than patients. They become a part of a family that both hurts and heals together. If you or someone you love is suffering from an addiction, contact our counselors at 800-258-4250.
Regular oil changes and scheduled maintenance at Quick Car Lube and Auto Centers is important to keep you on the road. You'll get Quick Car's remarkable service because Quick Car owners care. And with Pennzoil, it's driving cleansing protection for all your vehicle's needs. Oil changes, vehicle repairs, and state inspections all keep your family safe. For Certified Owners Association Quick Car members, visit QuickCarTexas.com.
Quick Car Lube, Tune and Service Center.
But wait for the NBA on TNT is almost over. It's LeBron, Wade, Bosh, and the Heat versus the Celtics with KG and Paul Pierce and Shaquille O'Neal, and the Rockets and the Lakers on Premier Week, presented by Autotrader.com in 4 days on TNT. Opening night, Tuesday. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Mariano Rivera is on for the Yankees, trying to keep the New York deficit to 5, and he faces Benji Molina. What a night for Colby Lewis. What a start. 8 innings in the books, holding the Yankees to 1 run on 3 hits. Between innings, Ron Washington and Colby Lewis. Neftali Feliz is loosening. The kid closer. Now Ron Washington and Brian Gorman.
Looks like there's a cap in right field.
Let me say something about Ron Washington too. You know, we have these pregame meetings with both managers, and I tell you, when you talk to Ron Washington, there is a measured, quiet intensity to the man when he talks about things that are close to him. A resilient man, whether he's talking about how the Rangers gave him a second chance after the admission of cocaine use in March, or whether he talks about 5 years ago how Katrina left his home with 7 feet of water in it, and how he has rebuilt that place and still lives in it in the offseason. And when he talks about this Texas Ranger ball club and how they come out and play baseball, and that's all he wanted them to do tonight. And they lead it 6-1 in the bottom half of the 8th. Molina reaches out, but Swisher's there for the first out.
He's rebuilding his home, rebuilding his life, and he's rebuilt these Texas Rangers.
Said the first thing he did when he got back to his place after Katrina was get out the pressure washer. Erase all the lines from the outside, all the spray painted numbers that investigators had seen and written on there. He wanted no vestige of that and has had to work hard to rebuild what he could. He said he still has some work to do. He'll do it in the offseason, but the house still stands. Ball and a strike to Mitch Moreland. Walked in the third, singled and scored in the fifth, flied out in the sixth.
Well, I still go back, Ernie, to that old-timers game in Minnesota and how every player was on the top step and how he explained to us that he wasn't just showing up to not embarrass himself. He was showing up to show his hitter he still loves playing the game.
And he responded with a couple of hits in that Legends game at Target Field. And he slightly pulled a hammy
when he was making a play in the outfield.
Moreland lays off, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You mentioned earlier Moreland's had some impressive at-bats against this guy.
2 hits in the series against Rivera. No one has ever gotten 3. You might be seeing a player grow up right in front of your eyes. They traded Justin Smoke to the Seattle Mariners to get Cliff Lee. Moreland might be the player that plays first base from now on.
On a line, but right at Jeter. 2 down. You are watching the American League Championship Series coverage on TBS, presented by Capital One Venture Card. Game 6. Rangers leading 3 games to 2 and leading this game 6-1. Vlad Guerrero's come up big, so has Nelson Cruz. Colby Lewis has come up bigger than anybody wearing the home whites of the Rangers. What an 8 innings of work holding down the New York Yankees. It is 6-1 with 2 out. And Elvis Andrus takes a strike. Talked about a pitcher being on the mound in this kind of a setting and the adrenaline rush. What's it like in the dugout when you're getting this close to something you've been chasing all year?
It's just undescribable, because one of the things you want to be in this situation, then you're almost surreal. You can't believe it, and you want it to go faster than it does. Hopefully for the Rangers it will in the next inning.
To Cano at second. 50,000 seats here. None of them will be used in the 9th. Here comes Feliz.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
What if a moment standing still could be just as beautiful when it breathes? If some moments preferred to take their time. If photography moved us and we moved photography, and we could all see beyond the still. Moving photography in 1080p Full HD, pioneered with EOS, inspired by Canon.
Captain and Cola for the game? Might be the best idea you've ever had.
Hey, we should invent a blanket with sleeves. I think it is my best.
Captain and Cola for the game. It's the best idea ever.
And if you go with us, it'll be a win-win.
Certainly will.
I think this could be a win-win. Maybe.
This is gonna be a win-win.
Win-win. A what? A win-win! You should say win-win. Use a hyphen. You know what this is?
A win-win?
A home run.
That's my next guess.
Win-win. Win-win.
Drink?
Man, this trip was great. I mean, I'm just, pumped.
We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
Taco Bell's new XXL Chalupa. Double the beef, loads of nacho cheese sauce, and tons of toppings in a monster chalupa shell. It's so big, you better call it a closer.
Don't worry, kid. I got it.
Go get him, Mo.
Think outside the bun.
Perfect is the thrill of the chase.
Perfect is gutting it out to live another day. Perfect is redemption, adrenaline, destiny.
The sound of popping corks.
Perfect is home field advantage.
MLB Network's got it all postseason long.
With insights to every series.
Highlights and analysis of every game.
From the guys who've been there.
MLB Network and the postseason, the perfect home field advantage.
Find your channel at MLBnetwork.com.
This American League Championship Series coverage on TBS has been presented by Capital One Venture Card. Top of the ninth in Arlington. Curtis Granderson takes high from Neftali Feliz, who was 21 years old when this season started. Now he's an old 22 with 40 saves in the regular season and a 1-1 count to Granderson.
I'm going to venture to say we will see 100 miles an hour in this inning before it's over.
How about a 6-game series and your closer for the Rangers doesn't have one save opportunity?
He falls behind 3 balls and 1 strike. Granderson was ready to take his base. The count full. From 1961 to 71, they were the Washington Senators. Never went to the postseason. For the last 39 years, they've been here in Arlington. Won their first series over Tampa Bay after being knocked out 3 times by the Yankees. Now they're 2 outs away from going to the World Series for the first time in franchise history. Here's Cano.
Well, for them to do it, they just had to, all they had to do was beat the team with the best record and then beat the defending champs. So quite an accomplishment for the Rangers if they pull this off.
Took a little off, 97.
This is get me over fastball.
the ground wide of first. Feliz gets over there. Nice play by Moreland. 2 down, 1 out away. And almost poetically, Alex Rodriguez comes to the plate with 2 outs in the 9th. The man who signed a 10-year contract for $250 million and played here for 3 years, 2001 to 2003, with 156 homers and 395 runs batted in. He's their final hope.
There it is. The 100 miles an hour.
A strikeaway. The Texas Rangers are American League champions. "39 seasons as the Texas Rangers, and Neftali Feliz with a strikeout of Alex Rodriguez ends it with the exclamation point. as the confetti flies and the T-shirts proclaiming their AL championship are donned, we go to Craig Sager. Sags.
I'm with Colby Lewis, who pitched the game of his life, shutting down the Yankees on 1 run, 3 hits through 8 innings. The biggest stage of your life, you couldn't have performed better. What was it like to be out there on the mound in front of this great crowd?
You know, I got a little too overamped there in the 8th when they were chanting my name, but it was really, really cool. These guys stepped up big for me tonight and put how many runs? 6, 7 runs on the board, and it's just one of those deals that I don't know. I'm speechless. I mean, it's one of those things that I never thought I'd be in this position, and I'm very grateful for all these guys out here to put me in this situation.
You were originally drafted by this organization. Injuries, you were released 4 other times. You went to major league teams. They cut you as well. You couldn't find a job last 2 years in Japan. You come back here, go full circle. You told me yesterday it'd be nuts if I thought you were going to be here. What's it mean with all the heartbreaks, setbacks, roadblocks that you've gone through?
You know, it's just one of those things that after my son was born, I kind of just, it just clicked. And, you know, getting an opportunity to go to Japan, and very grateful for that, and very grateful for all the Texas Rangers organization to bring me back here. And I just want to say a quick hello to my family, my wife, Jenny, and I just love her, and I just want to just say thank you to everybody that's showed up here tonight.
Well, you, Jen, and Kate were looking for a permanent home. I think you found one here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And with me, the man who represents this organization, Michael Young. The franchise's all-time leader in hits. There's a sign in the dugout locker room that says, "I trust my teammates, I trust myself." What does that mean tonight?
It means the World Series is coming to Texas. I mean, this is an incredible feeling. These fans have waited longer than we have, and I know how badly we wanted it. I can only imagine how they feel. So we're all in. Part 3 is done. We're going to bear down on part 4.
Over 1,500 games, 11 years waiting for this moment. You'd never been in the postseason. Now you're going to the World Series. Has it been worth the wait?
Totally worth the wait. Totally worth the wait. It's been an organizational effort from top to bottom. We got new ownership in place. Our fans are going crazy. Everyone's done a great job. I mean, it's just been a complete effort. Everybody in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they deserve it. We're fired up and we're ready to go play.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations. Back up to you, AJ.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. Final score in Arlington, the Rangers take Game 6, 6-1. Congratulations to the Texas Rangers, the 2010 American League champions, as the ginger ale is flying. They do that for Josh Hamilton. His long struggle with substance abuse. No champagne to be poured on him. And just like they did against Tampa Bay, it's ginger ale for Josh. Coming up on our post-game show, we'll bring you more celebration, interviews, and reactions, and the trophy presentation. TBS has been your exclusive home for the American League Championship Series. After the break, stay tuned for Inside MLB presented by Captain Morgan. Remember to drink responsibly.
I can't always get to the bank, but I can still bank.
I have the Bank of America mobile banking app.
I can take care of things on my break. I can check my balance
While I'm on a bus.
I'm waiting at the barbershop.
The studio.
Oh, my paycheck's already in.
I just transfer money.
I went online and set up alerts to let me know if
My balance drops below $200. You can pay your bills online.
you enter the amount, then make payment.
Boom.
Done. Wish I was.
Bank whenever, wherever, however you want with mobile and online banking from Bank of America.
I can't believe that people are actually paying me to travel across the world and build new sounds, different artists. The BlackBerry Torch makes it simple because I'm always staying in touch with everybody, whether it's using Twitter applications or Facebook. And a lot of these guys, I have a closer relationship now because I'm constantly on BBM talking to them.
It's lightning, and then it drops right here.
Pop.
I love what I do, and the BlackBerry Torch helps me do it.
Parker. Wanna race home? Bet I can beat you there.
With its 43 safety features, like the Park View rear backup camera,
Hi, sweetie, there you are.
electronic vehicle information center, and rear cross path detection system, now available in the Safety Tech package, the Chrysler Town & Country is a safe bet to make.
Start your engine.
The American League Championship Series coverage on TBS is brought to you by Captain Morgan. There are captains in every crew. Calling all captains. Drink responsibly. By Verizon. This signal is yours. Wield it to transmit anything you want. Verizon. By MasterCard. The preferred card of Major League Baseball. And by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
We welcome you to our Inside MLB presented by Captain Morgan. It's the postgame show here on TBS. Texas Rangers have just completed a victory lap here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And we send it down to Matt Weiner. Matt.
Hello, Texas. After nearly 40 years here, the World Series is coming to Arlington. Here to accept the franchise's very first American League Championship trophy, Team President Nolan Ryan. Managing General Partner and CEO Chuck Greenberg. General Manager John Daniels. And here to present the trophy, Honorary American League President Jackie Autry.
39 years ago, a young man by the name of Nolan Ryan left the California Angels, Gene Autry's beloved California Angels. He came to Texas to pitch. I think it's only appropriate that Mrs. Gene Autry gets to present the William Herridge American League Championship Award to Nolan Ryan.
Nolan, you're such a part of Texas baseball. What does it mean to you to bring a World Series here?
Well, our fans have waited a long time. This organization's waited a long time. And this team coming out of spring training was on a mission. And it's unbelievable the resiliency they had and the hard work and all the things that we went through. But I think it's a credit to our organization, John Daniels, and the staff that he put together, and Ron Washington and his staff, and then the players. And so I just want to say I'm proud and honored to be here tonight. Thank you.
For all your accomplishments on the way to the Hall of Fame as a player, you only got to pitch in the World Series as a 22-year-old in 1969. You're back.
It's unbelievable. You never know where life takes you. But to be here tonight, I can honestly say that I probably have a better appreciation than I ever had.
Congratulations. Chuck, after the prolonged bidding process, you officially only took over this team in August. This isn't supposed to be this easy.
Hey, you know what? When you got a ball club like ours and an organization like ours and fans like ours, you know what?
Let's get used to it, Texas. Let's do it every year.
But I'm glad it was tonight.
Next to her, right there.
Josh, can you talk about the lows of where you were and how far you've come, and is this the top of the mountain so far?
Well, it's not the top of the mountain until I get to stand in front of my Savior one day. So the biggest thing is giving glory to God. I mean, you know, that's the reason I am where I am at this moment, at this very time. Our relationship with Christ, I mean, on a day-to-day basis, keeps me on the right path. So, like I said earlier, I mean, all throughout the game, I was tearing up, you know, is this going to be it? Is this tonight? And thinking about, you know, where I was and everything I went through and how God is just faithful and to bring me out of it.
Okay, Michael?
Josh, at what point this year did you guys sincerely believe that all of this was possible?
I would probably say when Interleague started. I don't know what month that was, do you? Yeah. So sometime around June, you know, we were just playing really good baseball. I mean, we were doing all the things good teams do to win. Playing small ball, you know, power, playing defense, pitching well, all these things. And we saw how it could work, you know, if we did all those things and how good we could be. So at that point, I think we started really believing in ourselves and believing that we were better than everybody else.
Up on the stage again.
Josh, can you just talk a little bit about the job that Ron Washington did with you guys throughout the season and into the playoffs?
Yeah, he's an unbelievable manager. He's a great players coach. He's always encouraging us. Same time, if we do something wrong, he'll jump on us, but you know, doesn't do it to embarrass us in front of the team. Pulls us over to the side, calls us in the office. So he's a guy of great integrity. You know, he means what he says. And you know what? For Wash, he's been in the game a long time, and this is pretty special for him to be here this year and to be right here to the end with us.
Okay, over here again, standing.
Josh, talk about your teammates, what they've meant to you, and you know, we hear you guys get along great, and there's all this camaraderie, and you guys are a happy bunch. Just kind of expand more on that, if you will.
Well, I mean, baseball's a kid's game. You know, yeah, we're all grown-ups and have children, a lot of us, but at the same time, you know, we got to remember where it all started, and that's by having fun, and we do that well together. So, I mean, the chemistry is just unbelievable as far as, you know, in the clubhouse. You know, we never take anything too seriously, but at the same time, our focus level's up always. So it's been fun.
Certainly has been fun for Josh Hamilton and company. If you're a Texas Rangers fan, it has been a long time coming. 2 weeks ago, they've never won a single postseason series since they began playing as the Rangers in 1972. They've endured 22 losing seasons, overall 130 games under 500. Friday marking their 6,207th game before making a World Series. So that is a total of 55,327 and 2/3 innings before reaching the Fall Classic.
I'm going to take you back to high school. Class is done for the day, and the trash talking at lunch for the after-school pickup game is epic. Only one problem. It rained a little, so the courts are wet. You're playing through it. Not in the NBA, and certainly not with two teams competing for an NBA title. The game between the Magic and Heat was canceled because the court in Tampa Bay was actually too slippery due to an NHL ice surface that was installed underneath. You can only have so many ball boys that are used to mopping up that much moisture working on the court. Now, the game not being played might actually be a good thing for the Heat, who have had to deal with a slew of injuries, including Dwayne Wade. He's been cleared to resume full practice on Sunday. Mike Miller, by the way, now out until January. We spent the offseason trying to figure out how good this Heat team is going to be. Well, based on 10,000
the Rangers just one win away from their first ever World Series. Would they have stage presence or stage fright? Colby Lewis was terrific in Game 2 against the Yankees, looking to lead Texas to the promised land. 5th inning, Nick Swisher batting with 1 away and A-Rod on 3rd. Lewis's pitch is in the dirt. Gets away from Molina. A-Rod comes in to score. It's ruled a wild pitch. Game tied at 1, but oh no! The pitch clearly hits Swisher and changes direction past Molina. The ump blew the call. Should have been runners at 1st and 3rd. Instead, the Yankees get a break. They tie the score at 1. Bottom of the 5th. Vladimir Guerrero with 2 on. Who's your Vladdy? Doubles to deep center. Mitch Moreland scores. Josh Hamilton will score. Vladdy's 2nd game of 3 or more RBI in his postseason career. Ron Washington, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Phil Hughes will be taken out of the game. David Robertson comes in. Nelson Cruz says, "Pardon me while I unload." 2-run bomb. Rangers up 5-1. 8th inning, 6-1 Rangers. Lewis is still in the game. Jorge Posada, gone. Marcus Timms, gone fishing. Derek Jeter, please. Lewis strikes at the side. 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 7 Ks, and 1 big bear hug from his skipper. Top of the 9th, Neftali Feliz facing A-Rod with 2 away. And how is this for poetic justice? The Texas-sized wait is over. The Rangers giving new meaning to Friday Night Lights in the Lone Star State as they are finally going to the World Series. Your American League champions in 2010. Nolan Ryan, no headlocks, just celebrating with his family while the players had some good ginger ale on the field. The first trip to the World Series in team history, and they do so in convincing fashion. The 2nd team to win a best-of-7 series with all 4 wins by 5 runs or more, joining the 07 Red Sox. The Yankees hit 201 in the series. The 3 hits by New York, the fewest by the team when losing a postseason deciding game in franchise history. Colby Lewis, he joins Johnny Padres of the 55 Brooklyn Dodgers as the only pitchers with a losing record in the regular season to defeat the Yankees not once but twice in the playoffs. And Josh Hamilton, the series MVP, the first outfielder to win ALCS MVP since David Justice back with the 2000 Yankees.
I mean, baseball's a kid's game. You know, yeah, we're all grown-ups and have children, a lot of us, but at the same time, you know, we got to remember where it all started, and that's by having fun, and we do that well together. So, I mean, the chemistry is just unbelievable as far as, you know, in the clubhouse, you know, we never take anything too seriously, but at the same time, our focus level's up always. So it's been fun.
These guys came together last year, and they made a commitment in spring training. And the only thing I've ever told them from that commitment is the only thing that matters is what you believe inside your clubhouse, not what goes on outside the clubhouse. I keep saying the same thing over. It's not the best team that wins. It's the team that played the best on that day. Well, there was quite a few days we played better than the teams we played, and that's why we headed to the World Series.
Well, certainly for this Texas Rangers team, it has been a long time coming. And when I mean long, I mean very, very, very long. 0 postseason wins just a couple of weeks ago. 22 losing seasons in Texas. In fact, 130